Packing for Hawaii isn't just swimsuits and flip-flops. In this episode, you'll discover the essentials most travelers forget and how bringing the right things can save you money, stress, and time once you're in Hawaii. Aloha and welcome to Hawaii's Best, the podcast helping travelers plan an unforgettable Hawaii vacation with insider tips and featuring local voices. I'm Brian Murphy, a husband, dad of 3, and certified Hawaii destination expert. Each week, I share local insights, travel tips, and up-to-date news, sometimes with guests across Hawaii and sometimes solo, all to help you plan your next trip to Hawaii. Aloha and welcome back to Hawaii's Best. And today we're talking about something that can really make or break your trip to Hawaii. We're talking all about packing smarter for Hawaii. Now, you've probably packed for plenty of vacations before, but Hawaii is a bit different. Bring the wrong things or forget the right ones, and you might just spend your first day shopping at ABC store the whole time, which nothing wrong with that, but you could be enjoying the beach during that time. So you want to pack thoughtfully, and you'll feel prepared, comfortable, and even help protect the islands while you're at it. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what belongs in your bag, what you can leave at home, and a few overlooked items that can really make your trip so much smoother. And also, if you want a little help in this, I've put together a free printable checklist that you can grab in the show notes below, first link. I definitely remember my first time to Hawaii with my wife almost 20 years ago, and 30 trips later, we had, I want to say like 3 check bags between us and a couple carry-ons, and it was just us. We didn't have kids at the time. So when we got there, and we were only there for like 5 days, I realized that first day how overpacked I was and how I didn't get through probably 80% of the stuff I packed. So first, we're going to be talking about those must-haves, the things that you'll want in your check bag, your carry-on, no matter what. So first up is mineral sunscreen. This isn't just about avoiding a sunburn, even though that can be pretty painful and can definitely hamper your trip. But Hawaii has laws in place to protect its reefs. So sunscreens with oxybenzone or octinoxate are banned statewide. Now, in the county of Maui, which includes Maui, Molokai, and Lanai, only mineral sunscreens are allowed for sale and use. So, don't just grab a bottle because it says reef safe on the front. You want to make sure you flip it over and check the active ingredients. If it's zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, you're pretty much good to go. And honestly, not only is this better for the ocean, which is why this is in place, but it also saves you from having to pay resort prices for their sunscreen when you realize yours isn't allowed. Next up is probably really obvious, but swimsuits. I don't know how many swimsuits that we have bought on vacation. One, because we've forgotten before, or one of our kids has forgotten. And 2, we didn't try it on before we went and we grabbed the wrong size, or maybe the size is too big or too small. So check your swimsuits. You'll probably be in the water most days, be it at the pool or beach. So pack at least 2. That way you'll always have, a dry one ready to go. It can be frustrating when you pull out a damp suit thinking that'll be dry in the morning. The weather in Hawaii can be more humid, so it might take some things a little bit longer to dry. So having those 2 swimsuits is a good idea. All right, next up is bring some lightweight shirts and or tank tops. Hawaii is warm, it's humid, and cotton can feel heavy sometimes after a while. So quick dry fabrics or anything, designed for hot weather will feel just so much better and breathable. So when you're packing, have that in mind. You also need a couple pairs of shorts. Obviously those are great for beach days, hikes, just hanging out, even going to the restaurant. Hawaii isn't too formal. A nice pair of shorts and aloha shirt for guys is pretty much okay at most places that you're going to eat at. So if you're planning something active, maybe have some athletic shorts, maybe you like to wear jeans. I probably brought my first time visiting Hawaii, I probably bought 2 or 3 pairs of jeans, and I don't think I wore them once. So they can be hot, they can be bulky for Hawaii, but maybe a pair of I don't know, guys, a Dockers or that type of chino type of pant if you want to dress up a little bit. Now for your feet, you want to definitely bring some flip-flops, sandals, definitely are essential, or you might hear locals refer to flip-flops or sandals as slippers. And you'll probably be slipping them on and off a lot, especially since it's custom to leave shoes at the door when entering someone's home. So if you're visiting someone in Hawaii, having some flip-flops is good just to be able to slip on and off when needed. And a quick tip is, don't hike in flip-flops. Trails can be muddy, rocky, unpredictable, dangerous, so bring a pair of sturdy shoes if you plan to hit the trails and do a little exploring that way. And finally, on the essential things to bring is a reusable water bottle. Staying hydrated is huge, and you'll find that there are refill stations at airports, parks, many of the hotels, resorts have them. So it's a simple way to cut down on plastic waste. And if you have an insulated bottle, metal would be best rather than plastic, but that just keeps, drinks cold for hours, which is great and refreshing, especially after exploring a hike or during a hike or at the beach or pool. It's just good having that ready and available. All right, now we're going to talk about some just smart extras that aren't always top of mind when packing, but once you have them, you'll wonder how you've never traveled without them. And I just want to pop in here and say if you found any value in listening to Hawaii's Best is to simply follow the podcast on the app you're using right now. If you're on Apple Podcasts, just tap that little follow button in the top right corner. It's that easy, and doing so helps more people like you who love Hawaii find the show. And now back to the episode. One of those first things for us is a rash guard or a swim shirt. I always swim in a rash guard now, especially in Hawaii, so I don't have to keep reapplying sunscreen. So having that sun shirt, it gives you that extra sun protection. It dries quickly, and it's just great and versatile if you're out surfing, snorkeling, or just hanging out at the pool. And most rash guards do have a UPF of 50, which blocks almost most of the harmful UV rays. Next up is water shoes. They're not the most glamorous thing you'll pack, but they're definitely worth it, especially on a lot of beaches. They can be rocky, the shorelines, lava rock, and just slipping around barefoot is no fun. So having water shoes to protect you from any cuts, sea urchins, and even hot sand. Plus, they're just light to pack. It's kind of a no-brainer, quick drying, and just easy to throw in the day bag, your beach bag for the day. Another item would be sun hats or a cap. The Hawaiian sun is intense, and even on breezy or partly cloudy days, a hat keeps your face shaded, reduces glare, and means you don't have to pile on as much sunscreen. So whether you're hiking, lounging on the sand, wandering through town, a good hat is the way to go, and it can pack relatively flat for women. My wife has, I don't know how many sun hats, and I don't know how many baseball caps I have, so we pack probably 3 each, and they don't take up too much space in the check bag. And finally, a light sweater or jacket. This one actually surprises a lot of people. And yeah, obviously Hawaii is tropical, but evenings in higher elevation, especially on the big island of Hawaii, they can be chilly. So if you're doing a Haleakala sunrise on the island of Maui or stargazing on Mauna Kea on Hawaii Island, it's cold, and even in towns like Waimea cool off at night. So have a light layer. Won't take up much space in your bag, but it'll make you a lot more comfortable when temperatures can dip. All right, so before I wrap up with a couple, last bonus items, I put together a free printable checklist that covers everything we've talked about. Plus, I've included 29 more items that can make your trip even easier. And to grab that, it's going to be the first link in the show notes below, and you'll be able to grab it right there. So bonus items to bring would be a couple reusable shopping bags. Plastic checkout bags are banned across Hawaii, so having a foldable tote bag in your suitcase is definitely going to come in handy. So all those ABC store trips and just going to farmers markets, you want to have that just ready and available. It's also great for a day bag down to the beach or pool. Without it, you'll probably find yourself spending money on bags. If you're out shopping, you're going to have to probably buy a bag just to carry your items. And the second bonus tip is bring some laundry detergent. I know it sounds kind of random, but it's definitely a lifesaver. This is something we started doing probably about 10 years ago. And just having a small bag of detergent powder, or even better, detergent sheets, it lets you wash your clothes in the sink or use the hotel machines, or maybe you're staying in a condo. That means you can pack a little bit lighter, not bring as many clothes, but you can still have some fresh clothes if you're staying a week or two in Hawaii, which is especially handy if you're traveling with kids. But just one tip on that, if you're flying with powder in your carry-on, keep it under 12 ounces so TSA doesn't get mad or flag you for extra screening. Better yet, just keep that in your check bag. All right, so there you go. That's just kind of the tip of the iceberg of what to bring to Hawaii. If you want to make packing even easier, like I mentioned, I put together a free printable checklist with all of today's items, plus 29 more items. You'll be glad you didn't overlook. So you can grab that in the first link in the show notes. And next week, I'm really excited to be talking all about and sharing my experiences with how to keep teens and tweens engaged on a Hawaii vacation. So if you're struggling with some older kids, this is going to be a fun one that you don't want to miss. All right. Mahalo for listening to today's episode. And until next time, as always, live with aloha. Mahalo for listening to this episode of Hawaii's Best. To stay up to date on future episodes, hit follow on your podcast app. Hawaii's Best is a production of Shorebreak Media Group with editing by Easy Podcast Solutions and music courtesy of our friends Stick Figure.